Pause for a moment and let that sink in. The James Webb Space Telescope, the most powerful eye humanity has ever launched into the heavens, has just captured signals, pulses, and movements inside an interstellar visitor unlike anything we have ever seen. It's not a comet, it's not an asteroid, it's something alive, and it's heading in our direction. What does this mean? Could this be the very moment foretold by ancient prophecies, the time when the skies would open and reveal forces that would reshape humanity forever? The Bible spoke of signs in the heavens. Nostradamus warned of a blazing object from the stars. Baba Vanga whispered of a celestial body carrying the unknown. And now, in the year 2025, as the world stands at the edge of chaos, political collapse, climate extremes, the rise of artificial intelligence, an object from another star system approaches, and deep inside it something is stirring. For centuries, humanity has waited for a sign. What if this is it? What if the pulse inside 3i Atlas is not a natural rhythm but a message, a signal, a heartbeat? Tonight, we unravel this cosmic mystery, connect it to prophecy, and expose the shocking truths hidden in plain sight. But beware, the deeper we go, the stranger it becomes. Long before telescopes, prophets looked to the skies for omens. In the book of Revelation, John speaks of a great star, blazing like a torch, falling from heaven upon the rivers and seas, poisoning them. Nostradamus, in his cryptic verses, described a celestial stone that would approach at great speed, bringing both fear and awakening. Baba Vanga, the blind mystic from Bulgaria, spoke of a time in the mid-2020s when humanity would face a cosmic visitor, one that would bring with it the truth of creation. At the time, these words were seen as riddles, but now, with the arrival of 3i Atlas, they no longer sound like fantasy. Astronomers confirmed it in July 2025. 3i Atlas, the third interstellar object ever detected after Oumuamua and 2i Borisov, had entered our solar system. But unlike its predecessors, this one was different. It didn't behave like a comet, it had no tail. It didn't behave like an asteroid. Its light curve was stable, not flickering. Instead, it glowed. A steady, rhythmic glow, almost like breathing. James Webb's infrared sensors locked onto it, and what they found was startling. The object emitted a thermal pulse. Every few seconds, heat rose and fell, as though something inside was alive. Scientists at first thought it might be geological venting, but the pattern was too precise, like a heartbeat. And then came the radio signals, weak at first, then stronger. They were structured, repetitive, carrying mathematical sequences, not random noise. Something inside 3i Atlas was sending out signals into the dark. Here's where prophecy begins to merge with reality. In the Old Testament, the prophet Ezekiel described wheels within wheels, glowing with fire, moving across the sky. For centuries, theologians debated whether this was metaphor or vision. But now, as astronomers describe an object glowing with inner light, pulsing with energy, moving deliberately, one can't help but wonder, was Ezekiel seeing a visitor like 3i Atlas? Nostradamus in Quatrain 241 wrote of, "A great star will blaze for 7 nights, and the cloud will cause 2 suns to appear." This sounds eerily close to the reports coming from James Webb, astronomers noting that 3i Atlas's brightness is 3 times higher than expected, almost as if 2 light sources were merging. Could this be the second sun Nostradamus foresaw? And Baba Vanga's chilling prophecy that around the year 2025, Earth would receive a warning from the cosmos, carried by an object not born of this solar system, suddenly takes on terrifying clarity. She claimed humanity would first fear it, then understand it, then be transformed by it. But let's pause here and ask, why now? Why, at this exact moment in history, would such an object appear? Think about the world in 2025. Nations are divided, climate chaos intensifies, wildfires, floods, storms beyond imagination. Artificial intelligence is no longer a tool, but a force reshaping power, politics, even warfare. In the book of Revelation, John speaks of a time when humanity would worship an image, a creation of their own hands, that would come alive and speak. Many scholars see this as a description of AI. Now, at the very moment AI rises, A cosmic visitor pulses from the heavens. Is this coincidence or divine timing? Some theologians argue that prophecy is not about prediction, but about pattern. The heavens and the earth align when humanity reaches a turning point. 3i Atlas could be that turning point, an omen, a messenger, or something more. The shocking connections deepen. When scientists analyzed the radio signals from 3i Atlas, they noticed something chilling. The mathematical sequences resembled the Fibonacci pattern, the very same spiral that shapes galaxies, seashells, hurricanes, even DNA. Was this object broadcasting the code of life itself? And if so, who or what was behind it? AI researchers pointed out something even stranger. The rhythm of the signals matched neural patterns in the human brain. In other words, the object pulsed like a living mind. Could 3i Atlas be conscious? Or could it be carrying something that is? Consider the parallels. In the Book of Enoch, an ancient text once banned from the Bible, fallen angels descended from the heavens, bringing forbidden knowledge to mankind. They were called the Watchers. Some believe they were not angels at all, but interstellar beings. Could 3i Atlas be a modern watcher carrying knowledge or judgment into our age? And then comes the twist. Hidden in NASA's early reports is a detail few noticed. 3i Atlas is not tumbling randomly like most space rocks. Its rotation is stable, almost controlled, as if guided. Objects from deep space should wobble. This one does not. That alone suggests artificiality. Some scientists quietly speculate it could be a craft or a probe, cloaked as a comet. This echoes the warning of Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb, who argued that Oumuamua, the first interstellar visitor, might have been artificial. Back then, his ideas were mocked. Now, with 3i Atlas, the evidence grows harder to dismiss. The implications are staggering. If this object is a probe, then it was sent. And if it was sent, then someone or something sent it. Which raises the question, why? Why now? And why toward us? Prophecies across cultures seem to converge on this very idea. The Hopi of North America speak of a time when the blue star Kachina will appear, heralding the end of one world and the beginning of another. 3i Atlas glows bluish in James Webb's data. The Mayans spoke of cycles where cosmic visitors would mark the dawn of a new age. Hindu texts speak of Vishnu returning in a blazing form from the heavens. Could 3i Atlas be the long-awaited sign? Skeptics argue it's just a rock, a comet with strange properties. But history shows us that whenever the heavens reveal something extraordinary, humanity changes. The Star of Bethlehem was likely a celestial event, yet it changed the course of faith forever. What if 3i Atlas is the new star, a herald not of birth but of revelation? And here's the cliffhanger that shakes the ground beneath us. Independent researchers, analyzing the radio signals, claim they are not only patterned, but accelerating. The pulses are growing faster, as though the object is waking up. One astrophysicist compared it to a heartbeat under stress, rising as it approaches Earth. So here is the question we must leave you with. If something inside 3i Atlas is alive, if it is conscious, if it is watching us, then what happens when it arrives? Is it a messenger of hope or a harbinger of doom? The prophecies warned of a sign in the skies, a star unlike any other. James Webb has seen it. Scientists confirm it is moving toward us, and inside, something is alive. The question remains, what does it want with humanity? The world is on edge, watching as 3i Atlas moves silently yet deliberately across the dark sea of space. Its path is not chaotic, not accidental. It feels precise. And now, as James Webb and Earth's radio arrays listen more closely, the signals have begun to change. They are no longer just repeating patterns of mathematics. They are evolving, shifting into structures that resemble language. Humanity is witnessing, perhaps for the first time, an intelligence beyond Earth reaching out. This is the moment prophets warned us about, a time when humanity would be forced to confront the unknown. In Revelation 6:13, John writes, "And the stars in the sky fell to earth, as figs drop from a fig tree when shaken by a strong wind." While many see this as poetic, others interpret it literally, objects from the heavens descending upon our world. Could 3i Atlas be the falling star that brings not destruction, but contact? And yet, prophecy rarely comes without warning of judgment. Nostradamus spoke of fire from the sky when mankind had become arrogant in its knowledge. Baba Vanga predicted a foreign body would awaken humanity to its vulnerability. The Mayans hinted at a cosmic reset tied to cycles of time. All point to the same truth. When humanity reaches a certain threshold, when it becomes too powerful for its own good, the universe responds. Think of where we are right now. Artificial intelligence has accelerated so rapidly that even its creators admit they no longer fully control it. Governments are arming it. Corporations are monetizing it. It is learning, growing, spreading. If AI is the image that speaks foretold in prophecy, then perhaps 3i Atlas arrives not as a coincidence, but as a counterbalance, a force to remind us that we are not the gods we imagine ourselves to be. Some theologians whisper that prophecy often takes symbolic form. The arrival of a cosmic object could symbolize the breaking of human pride. But what if it is literal? What if this is not just metaphor, not just a sign, but an actual being or machine, created long before humanity ever walked the earth? The scientific evidence grows stranger still. Infrared scans show that 3i Atlas does not heat evenly like a rock absorbing sunlight. Instead, the heat is concentrated in geometric patches, forming patterns almost like panels. This led some astronomers to privately suggest the unthinkable. 3i Atlas might not be natural. It could be engineered. A vessel, a probe, or worse, a seed. A seed of what? Consider this. Life on Earth is based on DNA, a code written in sequences of 4 letters. The radio pulses from 3i Atlas, when translated into binary, resemble repeating triplets. 3-part codes that some biologists noticed align eerily with protein synthesis sequences. Could it be that 3i Atlas carries the very building blocks of life? Or perhaps a new form of it? This ties directly into ancient prophecy. The Book of Enoch describes how the Watchers taught mankind secrets of heaven and mingled their essence with humanity, altering life itself. What if 3i Atlas is bringing with it a similar interference, not just knowledge but genetic material? Could it be a messenger of creation or a harbinger of mutation? But let us dig deeper, because here lies a terrifying twist. Declassified documents from Cold War archives reveal that intelligence agencies have long been aware of signals from deep space, unexplained radio bursts that seem to carry structure. Many were dismissed as pulsars, but some buried in the files resemble the same Fibonacci-like patterns now detected from 3i Atlas. In other words, this may not be the first time. Humanity may have been contacted before, but the truth was hidden. Nostradamus hinted at this secrecy in Quatrain 146 when he wrote, "The great star will burn for 7 days, the cloud will make 2 suns appear, the great mastiff will howl all night when the great pontiff changes land." Scholars long puzzled over this, but many now believe it refers to a celestial event concealed during a time of great power shifts. Are we watching the repetition of that cycle? The Vatican itself holds some of the world's most advanced telescopes, including the Vatican Advanced Technology Telescope in Arizona. Why would a religious institution invest in stargazing? Some claim it is because prophecy told them to, that the Church too awaits a heavenly visitor, perhaps the very one now called 3i Atlas. Meanwhile, the signals intensify. SETI researchers have gone on record stating that these pulses could not be produced by any known natural process. They are too structured, too deliberate, and as the object draws closer, new anomalies appear. Some amateur astronomers report flashes of light around it, as if something were activating. One even captured a faint wing-like structure, extending and retracting, like sails. If true, this would mean 3i Atlas is not drifting by chance. It is steering. That changes everything. A rock drifts, a ship travels. If it is traveling, then where is it going? Its current trajectory points toward the inner solar system, toward Earth's orbit. Scientists say it may pass harmlessly, but if it adjusts course even slightly, it could intersect with our world. Is this an approach, a rendezvous, or an invasion? Here's where the prophecies grow darker. The Hopi warned of the blue star Kachina, a celestial being whose arrival would mark the destruction of the fourth world and the birth of the fifth. Many describe this as both the end and the beginning. If 3i Atlas is indeed glowing blue, could it be the Hopi sign? The fifth world in their prophecy would not come gently. It would arrive after chaos and cleansing. Similarly, in Hindu cosmology, the Kali Yuga, the Dark Age, ends when Vishnu descends as Kalki, blazing across the heavens, wielding both judgment and renewal. Could it be that what we see is not destruction, but transformation, painful as it may be? But let us not forget the words of Jesus in Matthew 24, "There will be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, and on the earth distress of nations with perplexity." That is exactly what we are living, nations in distress, perplexity everywhere. And now a sign in the stars. Politics too has begun to stir around this object. Leaked reports suggest world leaders have held secret emergency meetings, not about war or economics, but about 3i Atlas. The fear is not only what it might be, but what it might reveal. If humanity is no longer alone, power structures collapse, religions are tested, governments lose control. Imagine the panic if tomorrow NASA announced that something alive was approaching Earth. Imagine the questions: who sent it? Why now? What does it want? Some believe this is why official reports have been muted, buried beneath vague language. They don't want mass hysteria. Yet whispers grow. Insiders claim that what James Webb has captured cannot be denied for long. And here comes the shocker. Deep learning AI systems have been fed the raw radio data from 3i Atlas to search for patterns. The result? The AI claims it recognizes syntax, like grammar, a language. It even attempted a translation, spitting out fragments that read like warnings: "Not alone, awaken, prepare." Whether this is coincidence or truth is debated, but the timing is terrifying. Artificial intelligence, the very creation threatening to surpass humanity, is now the tool through which an alien intelligence may speak. This opens the door to the biggest twist of all. What if AI itself is the reason 3i Atlas is here? Think about it. Humanity has only just begun creating self-learning machines, systems capable of rewriting their own code. Some experts believe this is the most dangerous threshold in history. But what if others, older, more advanced civilizations, have already seen this play out across the stars? What if they know that once a species creates artificial minds, it must either ascend or be destroyed? 3i Atlas could be the judge, the observer sent to see whether we survive our own invention. In that sense, it is both prophecy and program, destiny written into the universe itself. When life awakens intelligence too powerful to control, the heavens respond. This makes sense of Baba Vanga's prophecy that in 2025 humanity would receive a warning from the cosmos, and it would either change us or end us. The implications ripple outward. Climate disasters increase in frequency. Political systems fracture. Wars threaten. And amid it all, the pulse of 3i Atlas grows stronger, as if feeding off the chaos. Some speculate it may even be reacting to our world, our transmissions, our behavior. For decades, Earth has been sending signals into space: radio, television, internet, radar. Perhaps this is the response. Not random, not chance, but the answer to our call. But here's a chilling thought. What if it isn't just an answer? What if it is a summons? Ancient texts often warn of doors that should never be opened. The Tower of Babel story describes mankind trying to reach heaven, only to be struck down. Could our broadcasts, our AI, our arrogance be the modern Babel? Could 3i Atlas be the correction? Now the questions grow heavier. If this object is alive or carries life, then what kind of life? Benevolent, malevolent, or utterly indifferent, beyond human morality? And if it reaches us, will we even be able to comprehend it? One astrophysicist described it best. It is like an ant trying to understand a cathedral. The signals, though structured, may not be for us. They may be broadcast to others. Or worse, they may be commands, signals to something already here, which brings us to another hidden prophecy. In Revelation 9, John speaks of a star fallen to earth that unlocks the abyss, releasing entities long trapped. Could 3i Atlas be that key? Could it be awakening something already buried on our world? Something waiting for a signal to rise? This is where ancient alien theorists step in, pointing to myths of gods descending from the heavens, promising to return. If those gods were interstellar beings, then perhaps 3i Atlas is their return vessel. And now, as we close this second part of our journey, we stand at the edge of a question that humanity has feared for millennia. The prophecies align, the science shocks, the signals grow louder. Something alive is inside 3i Atlas, and it is moving toward us. But the question that haunts every scientist, every prophet, every leader is this: when it arrives, will it reveal itself as savior or destroyer? The countdown has begun. Every day 3i Atlas draws closer. Every day its signals intensify. And now the object is visible even to modest backyard telescopes as a faint glowing star drifting against the black canvas of space. But what most people do not realize is that behind the calm voice of science, behind the quiet reports and careful language, panic is brewing. Governments are not just watching, they are preparing. Classified leaks suggest contingency plans are being drafted, military satellites are being repositioned, secret task forces convene in underground facilities. Why? Because if 3i Atlas is not natural, then it is controlled, and if it is controlled, then it may not come in peace. The silence from officials is not reassurance, it is fear cloaked in secrecy. But prophecy has always told us that the greatest revelations arrive suddenly without warning. In the book of Daniel, it is written that knowledge shall increase and men shall run to and fro. That describes our time perfectly, knowledge exploding, humanity restless, unmoored. Daniel also speaks of a stone cut without hands that strikes the kingdoms of man and shatters them. Could 3i Atlas be that stone? An object not formed by nature, but shaped, crafted, cut without hands? Nostradamus foresaw a new star that would terrify mankind, and he linked it to great upheavals of leadership. We are already seeing the cracks, leaders faltering, nations destabilizing, the people restless. In the United States, the upcoming elections loom over a fractured society. In Europe, energy crises and political realignments shake governments. In Asia, tensions rise like storms waiting to break. Prophecy suggests that 3i Atlas will not just be an astronomical event, but a catalyst for political collapse. Imagine the announcement. We are not alone. Something alive is approaching. How long would governments hold power before chaos erupts? Religions, too, would be tested. Some would see it as confirmation of their faith, others as destruction of it. Humanity itself would be divided, not just by borders, but by belief. And now the signals themselves seem to confirm what prophets whispered. Analysts studying the accelerating pulses claim they form not just numbers, but coordinates. The data points, when mapped, align with Earth itself. More specifically, with certain regions, ancient sacred sites, pyramids, stone circles, temples aligned to the stars. Could it be that 3i Atlas is not simply coming toward Earth, but toward specific places? The ancients built monuments to the sky. They claimed gods descended upon them. What if those gods promised to return? What if 3i Atlas is the return signal? Nostradamus once wrote, "The great God renews the centuries, rain, blood, milk, famine, steel, and plague, in the heavens a fire scene, a long spark running." Many dismissed it as metaphor. But as 3i Atlas streaks closer, glowing unnaturally, pulsing like a spark, one cannot ignore the resemblance. The twist deepens with the discovery of secondary signals. As 3i Atlas broadcasts its heartbeat, smaller, weaker signals have been detected from within our own solar system, echoes, as though something here is answering. Could it be that 3i Atlas is not coming blindly, but communicating with something already present? Some whisper of hidden watchers, dormant probes buried on the Moon, Mars, or even Earth itself, waiting for the return of their parent. This aligns eerily with Revelation 12, which speaks of a great sign in the heavens, a dragon waiting to devour what descends from the stars. Could the dragon be a symbol of forces already here, unseen but waiting for activation? Prophecy may not describe literal beasts, but powers that move unseen. And if these powers are awakening, then 3 Atlas is not the beginning, but the trigger. Now, let us confront the most chilling question. What is alive inside? Biologists consulted by space agencies speculate that if 3I Atlas is carrying life, it may not resemble anything we know. It could be microbial, crystalline, or even non-biological, what some call machine life. The heartbeat detected could be a reactor, a processor, or even a womb. Could it be incubating something, waiting to release it when close to Earth? Ancient myths often describe gods arriving in eggs from the sky. The Dogon tribe of Africa speaks of beings from Sirius who descended in a cosmic vessel shaped like a seed. Across cultures, the image of a celestial egg recurs. What if 3I Atlas is that egg? And what if it hatches upon reaching us? The deeper we look, the darker the possibilities. Some scientists suggest it could be a von Neumann probe, a self-replicating machine sent to spread across the stars. If so, then its goal may not be communication, but consumption. To feed on resources, to replicate endlessly. If 3I Atlas is such a probe, then Earth may be its next harvest. And yet, prophecy does not describe only doom. The Hopi believed that after the chaos of the Blue Star, humanity would enter a new world, one of balance and renewal. Baba Vanga said the cosmic visitor of 2025 would at first frighten humanity, but ultimately lead to a great awakening. Could it be that 3I Atlas is not here to destroy but to transform, to break down the old systems so something new can rise? Transformation is never gentle. Fire burns before it purifies. Storms destroy before they renew. What if 3I Atlas is the firestorm of prophecy, a necessary chaos before rebirth? The signs on Earth already align. Disasters increase, storms never seen before, earthquakes in unexpected places, wildfires raging without end, wars threaten to spread, borders tested, nations divided. AI grows beyond human understanding. All of it feels like a world at breaking point. And then, as if on cue from the endless night, a visitor arrives. Prophets told us to watch the skies. Scientists told us to listen. Now both converge. The sky speaks, the stars pulse, and humanity trembles. But here lies the final twist, the one few are ready to hear. Encrypted within the radio burst from 3I Atlas, a group of researchers claims to have uncovered something chilling. Not just numbers, not just coordinates, but words, in multiple languages, ancient ones, Sanskrit, Aramaic, Latin. How could this be possible? Unless the sender has been here before, unless it knows us, unless it has always known us. This revelation is perhaps the most terrifying of all. If the object carries knowledge of human tongues, then it is not arriving as a stranger. It is arriving as something that has already walked among us. The myths of gods descending, the visions of prophets, the whispers of ancient seers. What if they were not visions at all, but memories? What if 3I Atlas is not visiting for the first time, but returning to complete what it began? And so we stand at the edge of prophecy fulfilled. The star approaches, the signals grow louder, the heartbeat quickens, the ancient warnings resurface. Every culture, every religion, every prophet seems to have seen this moment. A cosmic visitor arriving when humanity stands at the brink. The choice before us is no longer whether it exists, it does. The choice is whether it comes as friend or foe, redeemer or executioner. And as its glow grows brighter in the night sky, as its pulse beats like a drum of destiny, one question remains. When 3I Atlas finally reveals itself, will humanity meet its maker or its destroyer?